Hey guys, what is up? Sora here, back with another Soul Calibur 6 video, and this video marks the beginning of, I think, going to be a multi-part series on this channel covering basics. When the game dropped, I vowed to make this already beginner-friendly game really beginner-friendly by providing my own content to it. And there's a lot of concepts that the game doesn't do quite as well in terms of explaining, like, okay, this is what you should be doing, so on and so forth. This is by far the best training mode that we've ever gotten, as well as like beginner support in the form of the manual that's inside the game. But there's still plenty of things that isn't covered as much, especially for those looking to become casual to competitive. So if you're one of those players that are looking to take this from just button mashing and like just generally having fun to kind of learning more, okay, what makes this character tick, why should I use this over that, so on and so forth, then this video series might be for you. This week we're going to start with movement. And the reason why I'm starting with movement more than anything else, there's plenty, right? But the reason why I'm starting with movement is because I think it is the most important offensive as well as defensive option in the game. SC6 is fast. It's a very, very, very fast-paced game. Like, in a particular match, I could probably cover the entire screen in just a single round because of how space-dependent everything is. That's why it's very important to know your movement options and examine them really closely. Now, this is still going to be a how to hitbox video, especially because I'm going to be showing everything on a hitbox, especially all the movement options. But it is a very general video that you can apply to any aspect of the game. With all that being said, let's get started. Alright, so where we're going to start off with this is pretty much covering 8-way run. And this is just to make sure that all you guys are on the same level when it comes to knowing what I'm about to talk about. 8-way run is a unique, semi-unique, I suppose, movement in Soul Calibur 6 as a franchise. And that is because you can run in a total of 8 directions. Back, forward, up, forward, down, up, down, forward, down, back, so on and so forth. There's a total of 8 directions in the game that you can be moving in. There's plenty of moves that are attached to each individual 8-way run, and it is shown on the command list. Which moves are 8-way run moves that you can only do while 8-way running, or dashing, or stepping. But we're not here to talk about the combat, we're here to talk about just plain old movement. And for the sake of the simplicity of the video, I'm going to be talking about the cardinal options, which is back, forward, up, down. The slants are important in themselves, but it's not as fundamental, I would say, as the cardinal directions. So, here is the first question that trips people up. And I even saw this recently on my Twitter timeline, like, why are you stepping so quickly when you can just walk, right? And the answer is already self-apparent right there. 8-way running, where I just hold the button, is not as fast as doing 3 steps in a row. This is very, very important to do with punishes, for example, especially for vertical attacks. For example, I do 4A and then I step. The speed that I'm doing that will make even some horizontal attacks whiff, if that makes sense. So getting a feel of when you want to step is very, very, very important for your success in this game. Next, the safety of back versus side versus forward step. And this is very akin to Street Fighter V for you guys that are coming from that game. Let me show you why. In this game, it is very forward oriented. Forward is the safest, I want to say safest with air quotes around it, movement option you can do, because you can cancel at any point forward dash into guard. That's what makes it safe. Like, you can do forward, forward, and then stop, or forward and stop, like that. Step, pretty much like step G, step G, step G. The next safest option is sidestep, and that's because, first of all, let's talk about the bad part. You cannot have that same level of moving your inch forward and then guarding. You do not have that with step guard. What step does allow you to do, though, is cancel step into step. For example, like that. Here's normal step. You see the animation complete? Here's step step. So that's why that is the second safest option, because it has a lot of evasion built into it. And of course, you get 8-way run moves off of it as well, which allows you to be both offensive and defensive with your step as well. The last safest option is back, and this is probably what trips a lot of people up. So for example, I'm facing Xianghua, right? She's in my face, she has faster buttons than I do, I want to get away. My tendency is to back, but here's the problem with back. I cannot cancel this in any way, shape, or form. I can't even cancel it with step. Like, that seems like it cancels, it doesn't. It kind of... it definitely not in the same level as step cancel. Back step into side step is a lot more clunky, and I'm doing this as fast as possible, than just side step into side step. So let me show you guys that again, so you guys see the difference, right? There's a lot more frames that I need to go over whenever I press back, rather than just step, 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 step. So therein lies the problem. Whenever you back in this game, if I am caught in that animation, I believe that's still 10 frames. That was in SE5, I'm not sure in SE6. But if I get caught in any part of that with an attack, I get run countered. Some of it is even lethal hit conditions, which means a lot of damage. Now, how do you get over that? Especially against here. Let's put ourselves in the same situation as here, right? If I'm in this situation against Xianghua, first of all, again covering what we just did, is sidestep. Sidestep is probably going to be safer given that I know Xianghua likes to launch. Like, Xianghua's launchers are pretty much all safe or safe-ish. So she's going to want to launch. It's a vertical attack. I probably want to step, right? So step guard, step guard, step guard, step guard, step guard. That's number one. Number two is, rather than just doing back, I can do like a jump back attack. For Ivy, that's 7k. Very good, and it also makes the retreat. If you get the hit, then you set up the Oki for your 3AG, stuff like that, so on and so forth. You can do a lot of other things other than back. The third option that I would say here is GI as a defensive option, or RE. Of course, those always exist. And if you really want to step but also want to back, you can do like sidestep into back, which makes you retreat somewhat, and it still avoids the vertical attack. So if you are completely dedicated to just having a retreat option, you can do this. You can do like what I just did earlier. This is relatively hard to catch still, by the way. Just because like you can do back up, back down, back up, back down, back up, back down, back up, back down. If you want to make space like that. That's how I retreat for my 3 AGs, by the way. So for example, I just want like the step. Oops, sorry. Walk onto 1, 2. Or 1, 2, 1. Or maybe like 1, 2, 1, 2 back. No, not that. Back. There you go. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but for training purposes, just to end this kind of little bit of the video, if you are considering moving and forward is not an option, sidestep is your next best option. If you really want to retreat, avoid pressing back immediately, especially in this close range. Try to avoid like going just for back. Try your jumping options, try your sidestep options, or if not, all else fails, try sidestep into back. That may be a better option for you. Alright, second and final part of the video is kind of going over the slightly offensive part of movement, which is making things whiff, right? Now, there is so many moves in the game that have different priorities. Knockback, or like, does it neutral, does it tech step, does it tech crouch, does it whatever. I'm going to simplify all of that for you guys for this particular video, right? And I'm going to look at something that is a move that is overlooked by a lot of Ivy mains right now, and that's 4A. Now, I have the frame data up, it's not showing the screen for the cleanliness of the video, but for the sake of simplicity, 4A, I'm going to set Xianghua to block here. 4A is plus 8 on block, or plus 8 on hit, and 0 on block, which means that after I do that poke, I am in neutral, which is perfect for the sake of this video. So for the rest of the video, I'm gonna assume that I'm on 0. So I do this. I catch all step. I catch all step, and it's a double high that cannot be ducked once you start blocking the first high. Now, what does Shangwa want to do here? After I do this, what does Shangwa want to do here? She just got knocked back a little. I know she wants to launch her, or she might even want to step catch. Depending on what my read of the situation is, I can do this into back and force the whiff, or I can do this. Sorry, I can do this. Why am I getting 4A? And sidestep and force the vertical whiff. So let's show both of those in action. So this is AA. Let me show you guys the range of AA, right? So for example, around here, I do 4A. That's a whiff punch, right? If she does BB, again, very safe option for Shangwa. That's her normal BB when I block it. If I do 4A, I get lethal hit. Right. So that's probably overkill. You probably will get this more often than not. Sorry. You probably get this up more often than not, which is a pretty good fast whiff punish for Ivy. But you guys already see the application here, right? Like I take a very neutral or low on negative move and step or backstep and then force the whiff punish with this, or force the whiff punish with this, right? Let me show you guys another move. 2B is -6 on block. Just all you need to know for this video. Still enough time because it's -6 only. Like Shangwa's BB, I think, is 16 or 18, one of the two. That's plenty of time for me to just step once and do the same punish that I just did earlier, or something even like this. Right? Like there's plenty of options there. And then if I'm expecting AA here, which has lesser reach, lesser forward reach, I should say, the same whiff punish applies, right? Oh, sorry, 4A, right? So, or 2B, then actually that won't work because that's too close. I think it only works on tip range 2B. Step, there we go. Yeah, it only works on max range 2B, but still useful. Still quite useful. And you can even launch a punish from there, actually. Something like this. Yeah. So, plenty of options that you can choose from. Just knowing that from a very fundamental standpoint, in order to do like slightly offensive things with step, remember that AAs are typically less forward reach, and BBs are easily very steppable. If you know that, and you combine it with low negative moves or neutral moves, such as 4A or 2B, you can make your opponent whiff, punish very unsafe moves, not unsafe moves, but very unsafe options in that particular instance with your own punishing options. Like you can even get more than 100 damage from a single whiff BB, as you guys saw earlier. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. This is the first part of a multi-part series. If you guys have any comments, suggestions of what you guys want to see next, feel free to tweet at me at hitbox_Sora. I'll be more than happy to hear from you. Until then, thank you guys for watching. This has again been Sora. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.